What's up, it's Auto Handles, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about De'Aaron Fox and his future, whether it be with or without the Kings. But before we can get into the video, be sure to like and subscribe. Let's begin. The way I see it, the Kings haven't done enough to convince De'Aaron Fox to stay long term. This wouldn't be a huge issue if he were already locked into a long-term deal, but the problem is he's entering the final year of his contract, and there's no guarantee that he'll re-sign. I think Sacramento's front office has come to terms with this reality. That's likely why they made moves like landing DeMar DeRozan in a 3-team sign and trade this offseason and extending Malik Monk. A couple of years earlier, they also brought in Domantas Sabonis. Clearly, they knew their time with Fox could be running out unless they did something big, and they did. These moves signal that they're trying to position themselves as contenders, but the results just aren't there. No matter what their record says, I can easily name 8 teams that are clearly better. Lakers, Nuggets, Spurs, Timberwolves, Thunder, Grizzlies, Warriors, and Rockets. I'd take any of them over the Kings in a playoff series, and I didn't even have to think too hard to come up with that list. The worst part? Sacramento is currently sitting at 13 and 17 and 12th in the standings, meaning there are even more teams I didn't mention that are outperforming them. It's not just about potential. These teams have gone out and proven themselves with winning records. The Kings are largely responsible for the situation they're in, but it's not hard to understand why. I feel like I say this in every video, but the Western Conference is just far stronger than the East. If the Kings were in the Eastern Conference, they'd have no trouble locking in a playoff spot. The same logic applies to a team like the Magic, who are currently 4th in the East. If they had to face tough Western Conference teams every night, there's no way they'd be sitting in the top 4. The West is simply too stacked. Obviously, Sacramento is in California, and with the Clippers, Lakers, and Warriors also based there, the Kings aren't moving to the Eastern Conference anytime soon. And speaking of all of these other Californian teams, it makes me think how the Kings feel like a diet version of, let's say, the Lakers. It reminds me of when Paul George said playing for the Clippers felt like being on the B team compared to the Lakers. And honestly, he wasn't wrong, and the Kings are kind of in that same position. And I just don't understand why De'Aaron Fox is still on this team. Sacramento is such a small market, and it's no surprise that they've struggled to attract top talent. It's hard to even remember a time when the Kings were competitive. Prior to drafting Fox, they had strung together a 16-year playoff drought. This season might end up being another where the Kings miss the playoffs. But this video isn't just about criticizing the Kings. It's more about what I would do if I were in De'Aaron Fox's shoes. The first move I'd make is to leave Sacramento behind. Fox has only made the playoffs once in his career, and that ended with a first-round exit. When you compare that to players from his 2017 draft class, the difference is striking. Jason Tatum has made the playoffs every year and already has a championship under his belt. Donovan Mitchell has also reached the playoffs every season, even if he hasn't made it past the second round. Bam Adebayo has 6 playoff appearances and 2 trips to the finals. And so it becomes clear that Fox's situation doesn't stack up. So what's the difference? Well, the Celtics and Heat have a rich history of success. While the Jazz don't have any championships, they at least have the Stockton Malone era to be proud of. The Kings, on the other hand, may have won a championship as the Rochester Royals in 1951, but that doesn't hold much weight given it's so far in the past and the franchise has completely rebranded since then. The problem with the Kings is their track record of mishandling talent. Take DeMarcus Cousins, for example. He was an all-star talent for the Kings, yet never made the playoffs with them, and the team never won more than 33 games in a season while he was there. And of course, De'Aaron Fox is now another victim of this mismanaged franchise, and maybe he doesn't want to be a part of it anymore. He didn't sign his extension with the team, and I'm hoping that signals he's ready to move on. He hasn't demanded a trade yet, but if he did, I'd support him. I've heard rumors that the Spurs are very interested in him, but in my opinion, he might have to wait for Wemby to develop first, and Fox is in his prime now, ready to win now. The Rockets are another potential destination, but one team that really caught my attention as an interesting option is the Pacers. The big draw there is that he'd be leaving the competitive Western Conference, and that he could form a big three with Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Halliburton. Since the Kings trio didn't work out, maybe this could be the better move for him. I'm not sure about the exact details, but the Pacers would likely need to center the deal around Benedict Mathurin to make it happen. If they do land Fox, he could finally escape the directionless culture of the Sacramento Kings. But what do you think? How would De'Aaron Fox fit with the Pacers? Could they challenge the Celtics for the championship? Tell me in the comments section below. Until next time, peace.